Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Stacy Ayers, and I am the Director of Access and Equity here in the Chino Valley Unified School District. And I would like to welcome you to our dual language immersion parent information session related to our Mandarin program as part of our multilingual academy pathways here in the Chino Valley Unified School District. So at this time, I would like to introduce myself. Once again, I am Dr. Stacy Ayers, Director of Access and Equity. And then I would like the rest of our team to go ahead and introduce themselves at this time.
Hi, I'm Lisa Starr, Principal of Hidden Trails Elementary.
And Evie's and Carol already introduced themselves, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to Jessica next.
Hi, I'm Jessica Orozco, the Secretary of Access and Equity. I will be monitoring the chat in English. If you'd like to send any messages that you have directly to me, we will review them at the end, and if we do not get to them, you can also visit our website at Access and Equity under the Chino Valley Unified School District website.
Thank you. So let's get started with our presentation. We are very excited that we are launching into our second year of dual language immersion at Hidden Trails for the 23-24 school year. This presentation is for new families that have a kindergartner who will be starting in the 23-24 school year. We currently have kindergartners enrolled at Hidden Trails for the first year of dual language immersion. Those kindergartners that are currently enrolled will be moving into the first grade classroom next year. If you happen to have a first grader and you are interested in having that first grader next year join the existing cohort of students, there is an application process for those first graders as well. However, at this time, we do not have any open spots. But we still encourage you to apply, and you will be placed on a waiting list. And if for some reason one of our existing families move or for other reasons, then a spot might become available. So this presentation is primarily geared for families that have entering kindergartners for next school year, for the 23-24 school year. This class that we are opening at Hidden Trails is for Mandarin, and through the curriculum, it will be primarily simplified Chinese that is utilized through the curricular materials. However, we will be teaching students traditional Chinese that complements the simplified program. So we have designated a number of traditional characters that the students will learn throughout the course of their kindergarten through 6th grade year. So by the time they leave the dual language immersion program, not only will they be bilingual, but they will also be biliterate, and they can recognize simplified as well as traditional characters. So today, through the course of this presentation, we're going to share a little bit about our mission here in Chino Valley Unified School District related to our dual language immersion programs. We are hoping to answer the question for you about why you might choose a dual language immersion program for your child. Ms. Sura will have an opportunity to share a little bit about the Hidden Trails program for the existing Mandarin program, as well as the kindergarten program that will be continuing next year. We will share with you the application process, the open enrollment process, if you would like for your child to join this particular class for next school year, and we will be sharing some resources if you would like to do additional research on what dual language immersion programs are. So for Chino Valley's Unified School District's dual language program mission, it is our intent to be able to offer students an enriching and challenging educational opportunity. The students who enroll in this program will have the opportunity to read, write, and communicate at high academic levels in Mandarin as well as in English, and they will achieve academic success in all content areas. The students in this particular program will develop biliteracy skills and cross-cultural skills and competencies that are needed in our multicultural society and global economy. It is our intent that as we launch this program at the elementary level, that it will continue through the junior high as well as the high school as your students move from grade level to grade level each year. So you might ask yourself, what exactly is dual language? Well, the research has shown that an effective dual language program develops students that will have high literacy in English, as well as the partner language that they are learning. And in this case, it would be Mandarin at Hidden Trails. The students that are participating in the dual language immersion program will perform higher on state assessments, have higher college going rates, and have more career opportunities based on what we have learned through the research in learning about dual language. English speakers will acquire Mandarin without risk to their academic achievement and English proficiency. So you might ask yourself, why is it beneficial? It is important that the students that are growing up in America need the skills and knowledge that are significantly different than previous generations. A key priority is to the ability to communicate in other languages and across cultures. In a globalized economy, there is a need for workers with knowledge of world languages and cultures, and we need to give our students the necessary skills to support international cooperation. On this slide, you can see that it states that students will develop dual language proficiency, leading to high academic skills and the state seal of biliteracy. This is an award that is granted to our 12th graders as they leave high school, and on their high school diploma, they will have a seal indicating that they have earned this level of distinction at graduation. Through the dual language immersion program, the students will develop a respect and appreciation for other cultures. And through that involvement, families are encouraged to take an active role in their child's education for long-term education to support dual language immersion. Language study helps develop strong thinking, reasoning skills that are useful for problem solving and in math and science. At the bottom of this slide, you can see that I referenced the Center for Advanced Leadership on Language Acquisition, or CARLA, that is based out of the University of Minnesota. This research was spearheaded by them, and there is a number of coordinated programs on research, training, development, and dissemination of information related to second language teaching, learning, and assessment through CARLA. So if you are interested in learning more about the benefits of dual language immersion, please consider this research for the following reasons. It shows us that students will achieve in all academic areas according to district, state, and federal guidelines. It will also develop fluency in communication and literacy in Mandarin and English at a high academic level. The research also indicates that it will cultivate an understanding and appreciation of other cultures and inspire self-esteem and strengthen positive attitudes amongst students, their families, and the community. And it's going to expand the worldviews of students to include knowledge of and respect for the customs and experiences of others. The California State Seal of Biliteracy, as I mentioned before, is an award that we offer in the Chino Valley Unified School District. By starting your child in early kindergarten, You will have the opportunity for your child to become bilingual. And by the time they report to junior high and high school, it's possible that they may choose a path different than Mandarin and then become multilingual by the time they are a senior at the high school level. We have been planning dual language immersion here in Chino Valley Unified since 2018. Because of the pandemic, we had to put a pause on the implementation plan that we had previously started back in 2018, but we were able to put that plan in motion for this 22-23 school year, where we have our first group of students enrolled in kindergarten, and they will be moving to first grade next year. So in 2023 and 2024, we are at sustainability. Every year, we will continue to add a class at Hidden Trails so that the program will continue to grow. So at this time, I would now like to introduce our Hidden Trails principal, Lisa Sura.
Whoops.
I think you're unmuted now.
My microphone, okay. Hi, I'm the proud principal of Hidden Trails. My assistant principal is Mr. Brian Lee. Unfortunately, he is not here today. He's out today. And we also have a part-time Mandarin translator, Miss Sin, who is doing the Chinese translation for us. Just a little bit about our school is our school works very hard. We have a very positive school culture. In 2021, we were awarded the California Distinguished School Award. In 2022, we were awarded the very prestigious National Blue Ribbon School Award, which only 1% of schools receive. And then in 2022, we were awarded a California PBIS Gold Award, and PBIS stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Support. So we are a very hardworking school, and we have high achieving students and teachers that have high expectations. Okay. So we are using the 90-10 model of instruction. And the reason we chose this model is this is the model that research shows has proven works best for students learning a second language. So what the 90-10 model of instruction looks like is 90% of the students' day will be in Mandarin and 10% of their day will be in English. And that changes as the grades go up. So in kindergarten, it's 90% Mandarin and 10% English. In first grade, it's 90% Mandarin and 10% English. When we go to second grade, it's 80% Mandarin and 20% English. Third grade is 70 Mandarin, 30 English. Fourth, 60 Mandarin, 40% English. And by fifth grade, it goes to, for fifth and sixth grade, 50% Mandarin and 50% English as part of the student school day for their instruction.
Sorry.
Just a little bit about our kindergarten, our schedule. Our gates open for the AM class at 7:40. Our AM class is from 7:40 to 11:10. And then our PM class is from 11:10 to 2:30. And our school is currently going through modernization. So right now we're under modernization, but next year when your students start kindergarten, we'll be done with all of that. But our kindergarten classes have already been modernized. So our theme for this year, each year our school chooses a theme, is the road to success is always under construction, because we know that we have to change things as we go along to best meet everybody's needs. So this just it breaks down the 90-10 model of what is taught in each part of the day. So in kindergarten, the 90% of the day is Mandarin, and the subjects taught in Mandarin would be language arts, math, social studies, and PE. And then the 10% of the day, or ELD, is we're working on reading instruction, making sure our students can read in English. First grade, it would be the same as kindergarten. When we go to second grade, though, it changes from 90-10 to 80% Mandarin, 20% English. So we would be teaching language arts, math, social studies, and PE in Mandarin. And we would continue with English language development, reading, ELA, and science in English. By third grade, it's 70% language arts, math, social studies, and PE will be taught in Mandarin, and will include language arts, ELD, and science 30% of the day in English. By fourth grade, we're down to 60-40. So the 60% of the day will be language arts in Mandarin, social studies in Mandarin, and PE in Mandarin. The 40% will be language arts in English, ELD, science, and math in English. By fifth grade, we move to a 50-50 model for fifth and sixth grade. So 50% of the day will be in Mandarin, and the subjects taught during that time would be language arts and social studies and PE. And then 50% would be in English, and we would be teaching language arts again, English language development, science, and math. And that's for both fifth and sixth grade. Here's a sample of our current schedule that we have in our kindergarten Mandarin class. We have a morning meeting that starts in the morning. We have story time, shared reading. We have our Chinese language small groups. Then we have science and social studies, morning recess and snacks, math whole groups, whole group instruction, and then math small groups. So that students who might need some extra support are getting some extra support with both their math computation skills as well as the math vocabulary. And then from 10:35 to 11, we have ELA, which is our English language period. And then we have cleanup and dismissal. And our PM class mimics the same schedule. The times are just different because they come in at a different time. So I won't go over the entire PM schedule. It's exactly the same as the AM. It's just it starts later. Okay. As I shared with you, our school is being modernized. Our kindergarten classrooms were modernized over the summer. So these are what our classrooms look like currently. And these are our current Mandarin dual language immersion classrooms. So, and our students in them.
Thank you, Principal Sarah, for
You're
sharing
welcome.
about your school. If there are any parents that have some questions for Principal Sarah, please feel free to type those in English or in Chinese in the chat. We are going to cover next the open enrollment process. This is the process that you will follow if you are interested in having your child attend the dual language immersion program in our district. We will be opening the applications on November 1st. These will launch on our Chino Valley Unified School District Access and Equity Department page. You can navigate to the Access and Equity page, and there the application will be available. On this page, you will see a number of applications. You will see the application for Hidden Trails Mandarin Kindergarten program. If you have a first grader that you would like to be considered, if a spot opens up in the existing program, there will be an application for your first grader. And then there is also the application for the new Spanish dual language immersion program at Ana Borba that we had the presentation for earlier today. And if you're interested in hearing more about that Spanish program, our next presentation on that one will be at 4:30 today, and you can use the same Zoom link to be able to join. So for the open enrollment process, When we choose students, we will be choosing 48 students that will be selected for two-way immersion. What this means is that we balance the class between students who may speak Mandarin predominantly, with 50% of the class being made up of Mandarin dominant students, and then 50% of the class made up of English or other language dominant students. The reason why we do this 50-50 balance is because the research shows that it's great for students to be able to continue to learn from each other. By them being out at lunch together and recess together, they will continue to speak different languages to each other, and they will be able to have conversations with each other throughout the school day. Because the teacher in kindergarten is speaking Mandarin 90% of the day, then it's important for the students to be able to communicate in the languages that they feel comfortable with each other when they're collaborating. So this type of model and research has shown very successful for both the Mandarin dominant student as well as the English language or other language dominant students. It helps if their primary language is Mandarin for them to be able to sustain that longer, because we know that it's important for students to learn language and keep language at an early age. And for the English dominant students, it helps them learn Mandarin quicker because they have peers that are speaking Mandarin as well as the teacher. So when we do the lottery, we will be doing the lottery based on that 50-50 model. The lottery will be held on January 24th at the Professional Development Center, and the address is there on the screen. You do not have to attend in person. The lottery is held regardless based on the applications that we have received, and all students will receive a lottery number. Those with the higher numbers will be the ones that are placed in classes first. Obviously, there are two classes, the AM class and the PM kindergarten class, with 24 students in each class. So if you were to receive a lottery number of 1 through 24, then obviously that is a great number for the lottery, and you will likely receive a letter letting know that you are being accepted into the program, and you will have 1 week to either accept or decline that spot so that we can move to the next lottery number if it's something that you decided that you wanted to move in a different direction for your child or your family. So once that lottery happens on January 24th, if you are not in attendance, then we will be mailing the lottery numbers to you so that you know what number you are in the lottery and therefore on the wait list. And acceptance letters will also be sent out at that same time. If you are a parent who currently has a child attending Hidden Trails, then that child actually gives you higher priority in the lottery, because we want to be able to keep families together. So if there's already a sibling that is currently attending Hidden Trails and will still be there next school year, then you will receive higher priority so that we can keep your family together. If you are joining this presentation and you do not live in the Chino Valley Unified School District area, we encourage you to still apply to be a part of our dual language immersion program, but we do give priority first to our residents and our families that are requesting an inter-district transfer. You would have to get release from the school district of your residents to be able to attend. So there is a different application process for you to be able to go through related to our dual language immersion program. So as you make a decision on whether or not the dual language immersion program is the right fit for your child and for your family, We wanted to share with you some of the information that is included on the commitment form that we ask our families to sign when joining the dual language immersion program at Hidden Trails. The first commitment is the understanding that you know that the instruction during the school day will be 90% in Mandarin, which for our English speaking families is definitely a change for their child and for themselves to have the teacher speaking in a different language than maybe their own. But also knowing that that will transition to 50% of the day by the time that the student is in 5th and 6th grade. Also, you're making a commitment that you know that strong native language skills are an excellent predictor of success in an immersion program. So if your child has been able to learn language without difficulties, then very likely they're going to be successful in learning 2 languages going forward. Also, understanding that if your child is an English dominant speaker, that the first few weeks of school, they are going to be trying to figure out what the teacher is saying to them. The teacher will be using things like visuals and gestures, repetition, labels on the wall to be able to help your child acclimate to an environment where they're hearing another language 90% of the day. So at the beginning, this might cause some frustration for your child, but we anticipate that they will be able to cope very well and be able to adapt to this situation accordingly. Our existing dual language immersion students are doing well with that adaptation to the new language if they are a predominantly English speaker. And the research shows that they will as well. Also, this is a 7-year commitment. We encourage families who start at the kindergarten level to finish through 6th grade. As we all know, for those of us that know 2 languages, it is a process to be able to learn another language, and it cannot be done in 1 year in order to become fully bilingual and biliterate in most cases. It takes several years for your child to become proficient in 2 languages. So the dedication to the program to be able to see it through is very important. And so we would ask that you are committing to be in a dual language immersion program. But if for some reason that you do decide that you want to be able to switch to the English only program, at some point, it might mean that your child is going to need some extra tutoring to be able to catch up if you switch. And that is probably not something that the district is going to be able to provide. So we encourage you to make that decision now before you enroll. Also, it's a commitment that we know that students will learn Mandarin faster if they are provided with opportunities outside of school to further their Mandarin language exposure, whether this is through books or cultural events, opportunities to be able to arrange in cross-language play with maybe other students who are speaking Mandarin. We encourage you to do that outside of the school day. Obviously, we also know that it's important for you as the parent to have a positive influence on your child, that we'd like to see you have an interest and enthusiasm for learning the Mandarin language or using the Mandarin language and maintaining that in your home. We have committed to purchasing Rosetta Stone for our families so that they are also learning the language along with their child. And if for some reason, again, you decide that maybe the dual language immersion program is not the best fit for your child once you start them in it, that if you are thinking about a change, you would request what's called a step meeting with the principal so that we can work together to be able to provide a successful transition into an English program if that's what you decide is what is best for your family. And then Finally, the commitments listed here have to do with the understanding that the dual language immersion students will be held to the same academic standards as the students in our English only classroom. However, the content may be presented in somewhat of a different order to align with our Chinese curriculum. And that if for some reason we discover that your child may have some learning problems associated with either learning Mandarin or learning in English, or regardless of the language that they speak, as a school district, we will be supporting your child and helping to provide various interventions to help keep them on track. And that as a parent, we encourage you in the dual language program to be an active participant at the school, including, coming to all parent-teacher conferences, coming to school meetings, encouraging you to volunteer with either take-home projects or on-campus volunteering if your schedule allows, and joining various organizations like the PTO, the English Language Advisory Council, or something like School Site Council. And upon enrollment in the school, you will also be receiving what we call our homeschool compact that shows the expectations for responsibilities for all of our stakeholders involved in supporting your child. And then after the lottery, we will continue to hold parent meetings. We will have a family tour that is scheduled for you to be able to bring your child on the campus and meet their classmates, as well as the other parents that will be part of the dual language immersion group. And you will have the opportunity to tour the school with school staff. We will also be giving you some information on what you could do to prepare your child for a dual immersion environment, and ongoing supports if students might need some help if they are struggling in either English or Mandarin. And we encourage family involvement. We'll continue to offer opportunities for you to be able to connect with the classroom, see the progress of your child, be involved in parent workshops to continue your learning. We will be communicating the first day of school and the processes related to that, and helping you through the registration process so that your child can get enrolled in Hidden Trails. And once again, I just wanted to share a resource for you that if you're interested in learning more about Chinese language learning and successful models of that that have been published. This is a nice resource that you can Google search online to be able to take a look at if you are interested in learning more about Mandarin immersion programs. Mandarin immersion programs are the ones that are growing in number the most across the United States. They are the programs that are more difficult to find, but are starting to increase because we know the value of speaking Mandarin in a global economy. So at this time, we are going to go ahead and take the opportunity to be able to answer some of the questions that were in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jessica to let us know what were some of the questions that our parents are asking.
Hi, everyone. Okay, one of the questions that I got from a parent is if they are interested in both programs, can they enroll in both programs?
Yes, if you are interested in either the dual language immersion Chinese program, Mandarin program, or the dual language immersion Spanish program, there are two separate applications. You will see those applications on the Access and Equity website on the Chino Valley Unified School District. You will need to complete both applications so that we know that you are interested in both programs, and you will receive separate lottery numbers for those separate schools.
Another question is the enrollment birth date requirements. I'm going to be posting it in the chat. If you're coming in to be an incoming kindergartner for the 2023-2024 school year, You must be born after September 2nd, 2017, and before September 1st, 2018. First grade birth date requirements are born after September 2nd, 2016, and before September 1st, 2017. So
Jessica, somehow you got muted at the end of your sentence there.
sorry about that. I said, and that will be posted in the chat. Okay. Will CVUSD eventually be offering dual immersion at other schools?
So we currently offer dual immersion at 2 different schools, at Hidden Trails for the Mandarin dual immersion program. And we are now launching the Spanish program at Ana Borba Elementary. We are planning to expand the dual language immersion programs into our middle schools. We want to make sure that there is a pathway for our elementary students entering into junior high. So we are in the process right now of actually researching world language programs at the junior high level, and staff will start piloting these programs. We have a few years to be able to still plan that junior high program and high school program, but we are looking at opportunities for families to continue their Mandarin learning into the junior high setting, or programs that we think that by the time that the students are leaving elementary level, they will be bilingual. And so by the time they get to junior high, it might be the interest in becoming multilingual. So we want to make sure that we're offering other languages so that they have that opportunity to continue to learn. And so I see that question in the chat posted on my end, that a parent asked, what happens after 6th grade? Is there a program in middle school or high school? And the answer is not at this moment, but there will be, because we are continuing to grow our dual language immersion program every year.
Okay, I have another question about where the application is available, and I'm going to be posting that in the chat as well. That is going to be on our Access and Equity Department website at the Chino Valley Unified School District website. Also, I'm being asked, what is the class size?
So the class size will be around 24 students. Hence the reason why we are taking 48 students in the lottery. There will be an AM and a PM class. I'm seeing a question related to how do we enroll in after school fun club or after school programs? So I'm going to go ahead and let Principal Sura answer that question.
So Fun Club is run through our child development department in the district. We house Fun Club, and we both have both AM and PM sessions. And our Fun Club also has just recently hired a Mandarin speaking teacher who can help support with homework. So the Fun Club is done through the child development department. And you can find that on our district website under the child development. Or you can call our school and they can give you the number for that as well. After school programs, we have a variety of after school programs here at Hidden Trails. Currently, we have something Monday through Thursday. Monday, we have Science Detectives. Tuesday was Chess Masters. Now it's Comic Creators. Wednesday, we have tennis, and Thursday basketball. So what happens at our school is we send out flyers for those programs for students to sign up, and that's how students get signed up for those programs.
Can you touch base on if the class is being taught in simplified or traditional?
Most of the curriculum resources we have are simplified, but there also is an option for traditional. So like our programs, Leveled Chinese and Better Immersion, I believe has an option for both. But our math program only has the option for simplified. The teachers are exposing students to both. But like I said, most of the resources out there available for Mandarin are in simplified, but we are doing a little bit of both.
And we've also come up with a traditional vocabulary list, character list of all of the traditional characters we want the students to recognize by the time that they leave Hidden Trails as well. So they will be able to read both by the time that they leave elementary. I'm also seeing a question related to, do inter-district transfers need to do anything before the lottery is announced in terms of, do they need to get a release from their home school? No, you do not need to do anything except for complete the application that will launch on November 1st.
Yeah, you just answered the last question. It also was about when to enroll, and November 1st is when the application will become live. It will, the last date to enroll is December 2nd for the lottery, and the lottery will be held on January 24th. Carol, do you have any questions at this time?
Yes, I have a parent asking whether if the student want to go to a first grade, they must have to take a test, which same level as our kindergarten students, and do they have to go through lottery?
Good question. So the first grade students do not need to take a test. We will start testing students in second grade once we have a cohort of students that are entering second grade. Because first grade is still the 90-10 model, then we have faith that if a student did not participate in kindergarten dual language immersion, that they will be going through the immersion experience themselves with the 90-10 model in first grade. So no test is necessary. So if you have a child who will be a first grader next year, you can fill out the application. But as I mentioned, when we started, we do not have any open spots in first grade at this moment. So you will receive a lottery number and will be placed on the wait list. And if one of our existing families decide to forego their spot for one reason or another, then we would call the first person on the lottery list to have an opportunity to join that existing class. I'm also seeing a question related to Rosetta Stone. I mentioned that we have Rosetta Stone available as a resource for our dual language immersion families so that they, the parents as well as the students, have the opportunity to utilize that program. We encourage daily use so that you're being connected to that other language on a daily basis. And the question is related, is it available for other students in other grade levels? We are utilizing Rosetta Stone in our district for students who are new to the country, students that fall in the immigrant category where they have been new to the country or new to the English language in the last 3 years. And so they have another language other than English that is predominantly their language. And we are encouraging those students and those families to utilize Rosetta Stone outside of the school day to continue to support them with their knowledge of the English language.
I have a question about, will they be able to have a visit day to talk with the teacher? Can you talk about how we end up having our meet the teacher day and parent meetings going forward?
Yeah, I can respond to that. So every year our Hidden Trails has a meet the teacher day before school starts, where you'll have a quick opportunity. It's not a meeting like individual meetings, a quick opportunity to meet the teacher. Once the lottery's over, we do have monthly parent meetings, and there will be a tour of our school campus to let parents know where things are, things like that. So, and the teachers will likely be attending some of those meetings. So that's once the students are accepted into the program.
And then Principal Sir, can you also talk about if parents have a preference for AM or PM, how that's handled?
Yes, so we have to make classes based on student need. So sometimes we have students who need extra support such as speech, or we have to balance the classes with Mandarin versus English dominant students. So we try our best to meet the requests of AM and PM, but there are never any guarantees. There are never any guarantees. And this year we're offering both AM and PM Fun Club. And though the Fun Club also offers AM and PM, there are never any guarantees there either. They may say initially AM just to hold your spot, but once everything's completed, we have to go through and look at where those students need to be based on student need.
And I'm seeing another question related to if I want to enroll my son who's going to be in first grade, while we wait to hear if a spot opens up in the Mandarin class, can I also enroll him in a different school in the district? Yes, you always have the opportunity to be able to enroll in a different school in the district through the inter-district transfer process or through open enrollment. I'm assuming that you live in Chino Valley Unified School District. If you live outside of the school district, then you would need to go through the inter-district request and get released from your existing school district. However, if you're wanting to establish priority for your child, I encourage you to enroll in Hidden Trails regardless. By filling out an intra-district transfer request to Hidden Trails, then it places your child at Hidden Trails, provided that there's spots available in the English class, and then establishes priority and is an easier transition when the child's already established at that particular school. Same thing with the Borba class. If you're considering Spanish, I encourage you to enroll in Borba regardless, or do an open enrollment application for both the English and the Spanish. That way you can establish priority for your child at that school. And then another parent was asking whether or not, if their child is already bilingual, what is our thoughts about learning a third language and whether or not that would be too stressful or confusing. So as a parent, you can best answer that question. If your research shows that children learn language at a young age, a lot easier than we can as adult learners. And so this is the time to be teaching students multiple languages. And so if you think that they're already fluent in their primary language and then maybe English is their second language and they seem to be acquiring that well, that tells you that your child is acquiring language at this age. And so by adding another language in, you would know best if you think that your child would be able to do that. But based on research, if you're going to do it, this is the time to expose them to multiple languages, to have them keep that language for the rest of their life.
Also, if I could chime in, if you have students at other schools and siblings, and you have a student coming into our kindergarten dual immersion program, those siblings also have priority to transferring into Hidden Trails into our regular classes. So we give priority to siblings because we know it's difficult for parents to be trying to go to 2 or 3 different schools. You might have 2 in elementary and 1 in junior high. So we don't want parents to have to do that. So if you're planning on enrolling your child in the dual Mandarin immersion program and you have another elementary level student in the regular English program, then we give priority to those transfer requests as well.
Okay, we want to thank everyone for coming. We are coming to the end of our time, wrapping up our questions. If we did not get to your question, please visit our website, at the Chino Valley Unified District website under the Department of Access and Equity, and we will post the answer to other questions there.